We had just spent 3 wonderful days in London during the first stint of our European vacation, and we were at St. Pancras International Railway Station the following day to hop on the Eurostar for a 2-hour, 20-minute trip to Paris. The trip was the first of 4 high-speed rail trips we embarked on during our tour of Europe. Eurostar is a semi-private high-speed rail service with routes serving the UK, France, the Netherlands, Belgium, and Germany. The carrier offers 3 travel classes of service: Standard, which provides an option to purchase drinks, meals, and snacks on board; Standard Premier, which includes a light meal and drinks served at your seat; and Business Premier, which in essence is first class, which includes hot meals served with champagne at your seat. Because the trip was only about 2.5 hours, we opted for Standard Premier. Our meal included a Danish, fruit, yogurt, orange juice, and some water. One more unique thing about the Eurostar experience from London to Paris: while going through passport control in London, our passports were stamped before boarding the train, which meant that we were allowed to immediately leave the train station in Paris without going through immigration. We stayed at the Hotel Bradford, located just a 5-minute walk from the Champs-Élysées. As was the case with our lodging situation in London, our room wasn't quite ready yet, but we didn't have to wait 5.5 hours either. We waited about 45 minutes, but during our wait time, we were encouraged by the hotel staff to partake in some of the refreshments offered in the hotel lounge. Very nice. Let's take a walkthrough of our hotel rooms. Okay, so we're in Paris at the Hotel Bradford Elysées. I guess I'm butchering that, but let's just give you a quick tour of what we've got going on here. We've got a family suite, which starts off with the main door. And we'll go into room 1. And this, of course, is the first bedroom. King-size bed, desk, And of course, with a welcome, Mr. Rashad, a personal note. Plenty of closet space. There's a safe, and of course, the drinks in the mini bar are complimentary, so you can drink all you want, no problem. There's a television, and of course, bathroom, toilet, shower, and a vanity, a sink, and a sitting area. The robes are a nice touch too, plenty of towels. And of course, this particular room, they told us, this suite is the largest one in the entire hotel, and it's literally on the first floor and right where you enter to the hotel, and you can see we're kind of like at street level. So obviously we'll have to close the blinds when we go to bed at night. So we'll go out of this into the hallway, and we'll go to room number 2. And it's the lovely Mrs. And we start off with bathroom, toilet, sink, everything you would expect the bathroom to have. Robes. And then we continue on into the main room, and there you have it. So, twin size beds here. Television. Desks. And of course, the closet. There's plenty of space. After checking in at the hotel, we stopped at a nearby pub to get a bite to eat, and then began our trek down the Champs-Élysées to take in the sights. And of course, somebody wanted to stop and shop. There it is. Knock one off the bucket list. The Arc de Triomphe, a monument that is a symbol of French pride and history. Commissioned by Napoleon in 1806 and completed in 1836, this iconic arc honors those individuals who fought and died for France in the French Revolutionary and Napoleonic Wars. Needless to say, a trip to Paris for a first-timer just wouldn't be a trip to Paris without visiting one of the most recognizable structures in the world, the Eiffel Tower. Designed by Gustave Eiffel and completed in 1889 for the World's Fair, believe it or not, the structure was almost torn down. However, it was spared demolition due to its utility as a radio telegraph station. Over the years, the Eiffel Tower has served various purposes, including as a scientific laboratory for meteorological and astronomical observations, a military radio transmitter, and now as a beloved tourist attraction. And once a family has arrived at the Eiffel Tower, what does a family do? Take pictures, no matter how silly we look doing so. After stopping at a local bakery to partake in some French pastries, we continued the day with a professionally guided tour of the Louvre Museum. The Louvre is a treasure trove of history and art. The building started its journey as a fortress in the 12th century, built by King Philip Augustus to protect Paris from invaders. Over the centuries, it transformed from a medieval fortress into a lavish royal palace under various French kings. When the royal residents moved to Versailles, the Louvre began its new life as a home to art and culture. It officially opened as a public museum in 1793 during the French Revolution, showcasing art seized from the royals and churches. The Louvre today isn't just famous for its art, but also for its architecture, including the modern glass pyramid added in 1989, blending the old with the new. From ancient sculptures like the Venus de Milo to Renaissance masterpieces like the Mona Lisa, the Louvre holds over 38,000 works, attracting millions of visitors each year. Our day concluded with dinner at a restaurant located on the Champs. As our time in Paris was nearing its end, we needed to check one more item off the bucket list: a visit to the Palace of Versailles. Our day actually began with lunch at McDonald's of all places. McDonald's in Paris. The youngsters, for some reason, just had to determine if the McDonald's in France were the same as the ones in the US. I must admit, I was somewhat amused to learn that the McDonald's in France sell beer, but that's beside the point. Anyway, we went to a designated location and waited for a bus to take us on the 40-minute trip to Versailles. Oh my goodness. Look at this place. The Palace of Versailles covers over 721,000 square feet and features more than 700 rooms, more than 2,000 windows, 1,250 chimneys, and 67 staircases. The backstory of the Palace of Versailles is the equivalent to one big flex. Check this out. Originally, this location was nothing more than a modest hunting lodge built by Louis XIII. However, in the 17th century, his son, Louis XIV, transformed it into a lavish palace. Known to the French as the Sun King, Louis XIV expanded the palace into one of the largest in the world, a home fit for the French monarchy and a center of political power. The Hall of Mirrors, the grandest room in the entire palace, is more than just sparkly lights and reflection. The room is where history was made. Treaties were signed, including the Treaty of Versailles in 1919, which ended World War I. After the royals left Versailles at the end of the French Revolution, King Louis Philippe in 1837 made the palace a public museum. Today, the palace attracts millions of visitors each year. Our time in Paris was over, and the next morning we arrived at the train station to begin the third leg of our European journey. We're headed to one of the fashion capitals of the world, Milan. We'll tell you about it in the next video. But before we go, do us a favor and hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. We'll see you next time.